Good evening, everyone. Here we have, hi Daldeep. Happy to see you here. Hi Johnny. I believe we have gotten started with the program already. Good to see you. Hi Stanley. Hi Midge. Great to see you all. Okay, we have more people joining in. Hi Anbu. Hope you're doing well. As we are waiting for others to join, we have a lot of people joining in. If you guys could use a chat to also give us a brief introduction on what or where you're from, your country, anything. Oh, hi, Barak. We have Barak from Dubai. Hi, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon from the folks joining in from the Middle East. Hi, Raku. Okay. Hi, Vishwanath. We have Rommel from Singapore. We'll wait for a couple more minutes and then, hi, Michael. Good to see you here. Okay, so we have very diverse geographies here. We have a couple of people from India, from Philippines, from Dubai, and also majorly from Singapore. Hi, Nadwid. How are you doing? Drive safe, Nadwid. Great, we'll wait for another minute and then we can get started. One more minute. I hope everyone's having a good evening and excited for the session as much as we all are. I guess we can start. Great. So welcome everyone to the pre-program information webinar on the Chief Data Analytics and AI Officer program. I am from the NUS School of Computing. We have a good number of participants, so looking forward to the session. So we have a basic agenda for the webinar today. So we'll get started with that. If you can move to the next slide. Great. So the agenda starts with our speaker, of course, Professor Teo, who will be addressing you. And then we have Professor Teo addressing NUS School of Computing and its advantage, the market demand for the Chief Data Analytics and AI Officer, as well as the details. We'll be going in depth onto that, on the target audience, what the outcomes is, what you can expect from the program, the in-depth curriculum basis, the 5 different pillars that we have as part of the program, and of course, the major highlights on how this program stands out, as well as the certification that will be offered at the end. Post which we'll also understand on how Emeritus is collaborated with NUS, how that works, as well as finally, the most awaited part of the webinar would be the Q&A, where you get to ask your questions, and me and Professor Teo will be trying our best to answer that for you. So over to you, Professor Teo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Professor Teo, you can go ahead.
Yes, just a little bit background. AI seems to be hot, and if you're technical, you think that it's going to be very complex. And if you are non-technical management, you think that it is too technical for you. So either way, I came from a background of applications and enterprise reorganization, transformation. So I work with NUS to come up with a course that will bring the two groups of people together, right? Because AI, as we are looking at, is going to make use of data, and it's going to be also one that is a generations of tools rather than a generation of deep knowledge. So let me explain as we go through. So first of all is that I represent NUS, number 1 in Asia and number 11 in the global standing for data science. It means that we know the depth and the breadth of data science. That meaning the mechanics of data science, analytics, AI, and breadth because we are not only technical practitioners, but we are also applying practitioners, meaning that half the faculty that will be teaching you are actually from the industry, with the other half as faculty members. This is how we maintain our stand as number 1 in Asia and number 11 in the world. So why are we doing this course? So first of all is that every time you pick up a paper, you listen to the mass media, whether it's TikTok or YouTube, you'll find a very common theme called AI, right? And there are many, many misconceptions about AI. And more importantly, as many of you are working, 89% of CEO in APAC, that means Asia and Pacific, are looking at integrating AI into their capital allocation. It means that they will put money where their mouth is to invest in the AI. It also means that job will be created. So what are we talking about? We are talking about a market size of close to $1 trillion in the Asia-Pacific artificial intelligence market. I just want to remind all of you that, it's not only AI, it's also about data, because AI is driven by data. And if you don't manage data, then AI will never work. Whether it's generative AI, whether it's machine learning, these are the terms that we will unravel as you go through the course, and we'll explain to you what all this means, both from the practitioner point of view and both from the technology point of view. So more importantly is that from the Asia-Pacific region, about 75% of organizations, so organization includes government, includes private, public, and so on and so forth, are integrating AI-infused processes. This is very particular to generative AI, right? Where we need to do an algorithm in the old days of software. Generative AI actually learns about you from your data, forms a foundation model, and from the foundation model, create the response to a machine control to the ChatGPT type environment of conversation, through the Sora image creation, video creation, and so on and so forth, right? So this course will start on the 28th of June, and 32 weeks of very intensive learning. So be prepared to be working hard like you have done it under your undergrad study. And it will be about 4 to 6 hours per week that you have to spend with about 4 to 6 live faculty session, meaning that some of us will be teaching you live through Zoom during that course, right? And the course fee will be about $10,000. We are very stringent on the criteria to get into this course. Any graduates or diploma holder with a minimum of 10 years. Why so? Because we are creating this course as a intersect between practitioners as well as technical or technology knowledge. If without that rich amount of working experience, you will be lost in this course, no matter how well you score as an undergrad. So it is very important that you come into this course with that experience, because with that experience, you will know what you need. You will understand your gap, and the course is designed to meet and complete the understanding to fill up that gap to make you into a data strategist. So we are now talking about 3 groups of people that we are targeting on. One will be seasoned executives. It means that you could be a COO, you could be the director of operation, you could be the chief marketing officer of a company, or even if you are the chief CRO, HR officer. You will want to know what is AI and data all about. Why is this hype about? How are you going to use it? And what is the strategy to implement it? So you as a non-IT person, non-technology person, you would like to know more. This course is for you. Or you are a many years experienced technology person with working knowledge of data management. Your gap will be your knowledge to transfer this, to monetize this into ways that the organization that you work for understand. As a result, use what you suggest to implement it as a transformation project. And we are also looking at foresight people who are business leader that is looking to explore the latest opportunity. One of the subject that we are teaching is about transformation and innovation. It means that if you are doing something today, let's say a product or a service A, you can generate a new service called service B purely because of digital technology, AI, and also information integration into your customer. So what is the general learning outcome for this course? Number one is that we are going to teach you for both sides of the aisle. That means the practitioner as well as the technology person about the strategic about of how digital technology are used. It's no longer talking about a dream, trying to generate something that is exciting. No, we have to teach you how do you bring that value of technology, for example, generative AI, into innovative value. Innovative value creation, for example, Uber is a very good example, right? They change the value of a taxi service. That is innovation, value generation. The second part of the outcome is to help you to understand strategies to capitalize the translation of data, AI, into profit, efficiency, meaning values to your company. It means we are teaching you the mechanics of translating technology into business language. Third, even though we are talking about ChatGPT now, you know that there's at least 15 other ChatGPT type of company that's appearing, and these are big. That will be include Gemini from Google. So it is not a stationary snapshot in time. There are many technologies that is growing, and the frightening part, or the exciting part, is that this technology is not only going to be the same. They are actually moving the parameter of human intelligence as the days goes by, right? So first of all, we talk about ChatGPT example. Today we are talking about intelligent avatars, which is video come ChatGPT. Now we are talking about near general intelligence, human intelligence. So these are moving very, very quickly. So we will also help you to understand how do you keep track and keep pace with all the emerging technology as you grow in your career. We also understand that risk cybersecurity is a very pertinent part, especially when you deal with data. If somebody steals your data, he can take your identity. That is a simple, good old days. But more importantly, recently, as you saw, AI actually can create and generate cyber risk profile because AI or generative AI uses large language model, and they can learn the trick of the black hackers of the past and create a blacker hackers of the future, purely because it's the way generative AI is generated. You cannot work alone, and that is our management focus. We will have a few modules to teach you how to you influence your team, empower the stakeholder, communicate well, talk about change management, how do you negotiate to come to a middle ground, and things like this. Okay, something that is very big for technical folks, but nevertheless, a very important skill because the next generation of technology is about integration and collaboration. So the curriculum consists of 5 pillars, and let me very briefly describe the 5 pillars. We start from the basic. It used to be that, like in the ERP, we automate an organization. We make customer service more efficient. We actually use data in a very thin form, right? But the next generation of technology will drive all transformation from data. So data will move from the back office to the front. It will be used to change customer behavior, improve the way we deliver our services and goods. So as we have explained, we'll be talking about how do you keep this intact? How do you create confidentiality, integrity? How do you do data engineering? And how do you integrate data from within yourself and outside of yourself? For example, ChatGPT is a data is generated by the cloud service provider, for example, Google or Microsoft. So how do you integrate into your company? How do you create and define data, not as data in terms of the gigabytes or the terabytes, but as an asset value to create money in terms of efficiency, return of investment, and so on and so forth. And it's a very exciting subject will be data visualization, storytelling, and how do we tell greater truth or greater informations from data. So when you understand the base ground, we will move up to the next pillar, which is data and AI-driven growth strategy. Yes, you cannot just go out and buy something, right? When you are going to drive innovation and transformation in an organization, you have to have a plan. You have to have a strategy. How do you create a plan and a strategy? Because with plan and strategy, you get buy-in from the organization, from your management, but you also get investment to put money where the plan is. So if the plan has been approved and the management has a buy-in and the organization has is all with you to go forward in this transformation, what is the next thing that you need to do? You need to know the key pillars of what digital and AI and data can do. So the next pillar is to teach you the nuance or the group knowledge of what is analytics, what is data science and machine learning. How in the world do you automate with AI? I thought they are just chatting with me. No, AI can do more. So what is that more? What in the world is generative AI? We'll cover prompt engineering, which is a very key term that you need to understand because this will make your job easier, more effective, or make your job more difficult because you don't understand how to talk to machines. All the technology that we are seeing today, their appearance in the horizon and now are products of cloud computing. So we'll do a very strong emphasis to teach you about the development in cloud computing. For example, AI, generative AI is now mostly run through cloud computing, and cybersecurity as a module because it's that important. So having understand the pillars of technology on pillar 3, we move up to the more important thing called housekeeping, which is risk management. So risk management is not only about virus. Risk management is about cybersecurity, compliance because of things like GDPR, data privacy. It's also about data analytics because you cannot analyze your customer until the customer identity is exposed, as an example. So the infer or the generations of confidential data into a report should never ever happen, right? Because it's a very big risk. Anyway, we will cover that. And the last pillar is we are trying to prepare you for the next generation of management. So the next generation of management is no longer how to manage, it's how do you use technology to manage. So it's not as simple as it seems because you are going to talk about things that we don't do before. For example, in the past, we say that if you manage your team well, you will motivate them to talk to other teams. Today, that talking to other teams is called collaboration, and we have tools like Microsoft Teams for you to collaborate within a company in one geography or across geography, as one example. So the executive presence or leadership that you have to prepare for the next 10, 20 years is no longer to manage people, but is to manage people, organization processes, to manage technology in order to fuse them together to create new value. And more importantly, throughout this course, which I did not emphasize more, is that you do have a success coach who will lead you through a capstone project. This capstone project is very interesting and important milestone, purely because it will pull all the 5 pillars knowledge together. It will superimpose into your experience and your current work environment for you to use what you have learned and apply it to a problem within your environment or the experience that you have to create a solution, right? So we are helping you and facilitate you with the integration of all the 5 pillars through the capstone project. So you can see that it's very comprehensive, 5 pillars going through 23 modules. The whole lessons will be pre-recorded, so you can play it at your own time, and many of them play the videos more than once. It's self-pacing, no doubt, but let me moderate it by saying that this self-paced, you have to keep to a schedule because every week comes and go, right? So you just cannot procrastinate or delay. You need to keep through the tempo and the schedule. If not, you'll be behind, right? And our past experience is that because they are so diverse, we do have our Saturday or Sunday session with the success coach. You will be communicating with each other, sharing notes, even though you are remote. And this is important. It has an alumni effect. So this network of people that you're working with in this course will be your asset for the future when you graduate from this course, as the previous course has enjoyed. At the end of this course, you can apply to be an associate alumni member of the NUS School of Computing. So there are many benefits that you can have. And I've explained that there is a capstone project that is going to integrate the learning of the 5 pillars. There will be many case studies that will be given to you to align you to say that what we are telling you are not theoretical knowledge, but practical knowledge from many of us, firstly, from the case study that we tend to derive the learning from. And more importantly, your participation and your involvement will bring that knowledge alive because you will be challenging that knowledge, you will be using that knowledge, and you will be adapting the knowledge to your environment. And if you do it well, you will be certified. And this is the certifications that you'll be given from NUS. And I bring this over to you, Suresh.
Thank you, Professor, for taking us through a detailed walkthrough. I hope it was insightful for everyone, and we'll wait for a Q&A. So talking about Emeritus again, we are one of the world's largest tech firms and also ranked recently by Time Magazine as the world's #1 edtech platform. So we collaborate with the top universities in the world to again offer programs. So we have collaborated with the NUS School of Computing to offer multiple professional certification programs and C-suite level programs. And again, we've had over 250,000 learners so far. So it's been a great journey with NUS so far, and looking forward to more participation. Thanks, Mr. Teo. Next. Great. So we can start with the Q&A. I believe the Q&A section is live now. So you can get started with your questions, and both me and Professor Teo will address them. So
Ambu Savan asked, does it require programming skill? Right? You do not need to. But the course, because we are covering a higher level than the actual programmer level, you'll find that like for myself, I will go to YouTube and learn a language because I just want to know how to program. But basically, we designed the course that in such a way that you do not need the technical programming skill. So for me as a CTO, CIO, I lost my skill per se, right, in programming, but nevertheless, for me to catch up in any language is good, it's easy. But for people like if you're from operation, without knowing how to program, you will go through this course because we are not here to teach you to be analysts and programmers. We are teaching you to be management strategies.
So I'll take up the question from Claire. What level of mathematics? I believe Professor Teo, you can address that. Yes.
We do not do big problems sum or equation in the whole course because even if you talk about data science, right? If you want to use any of the data science tools, you need to know statistics definitely, but you need not to know in depth on statistics. So I know why you asked a question. We are not expecting you to be a math person, but we do expect you, and hence we demand that you are a diploma or graduate to have at least fundamental mathematics in statistics, in the rest of math. Okay, but don't worry, you need not to struggle as you did as an undergrad, to do the hundreds of questions and solving solutions.
Great. So we have Anbu's question. Does the course cover the logic and use cases for AI and data?
Yes. It will be covered in different form using case study. And many of the lecturers are actually teaching undergrad in NUS. So if need be, you can ask them for even a more detailed course. Sorry, not course, more detailed information during the live session. Yeah, there will be lots of case study that we will quote. Let me answer Murad or more Rogu. He has two questions, right? So number one, he is not in a technical field. So this program is designed for people like you, right? Because remember, we are not going into level ground details. We are going into level 2, level 3 details, meaning that you will know where to get the information if you need to. For example, if I tell you about Gantt chart, if I tell you about linear programming, you may not know, but there are tools in the market that will use this to help you, correct? But at least you know that why do you need optimization through linear programming, right? You need not to know how to do it, but you must know how it is used in order for you to use the function in Amazon Web Services, right? For you to do customer service, to analyze, your customer performance. So the digital transformation covers about, my guesstimate is about 10 or 20%. So that is the question you asked. How much does the program cover the broader aspect of digital transformation? It's about 10 to 20%. All right. So the next question is from Rahul. Is there any AI ML project management available in a curriculum? No, but we will tell you about the main, because it is about strategy. So the lecturer will be bringing you through the strategy of how do you, first of all, bring an idea to your management, to your peers, to your stakeholders, and transform this idea into a plan, a strategy. And for this strategy to be approved, per se, and for implementation to be done. And during implementation, as you know, AI, ML, and data science, which you quoted, these are technical things, right? 90% of the organization does not understand. How do you manage change management? How do you manage the non-understanding of these key terms for you to have a successful rollout of a project? So indirectly, we do that, but not specifically in project management. This is not a PMO cost, right? It is a management cost to manage PMOs. The capstone is designed, the question is the capstone group or individual? Because many of you are remote. So we have modified the capstone to be individual, but the experience from the previous groups is that they form their own groups, and they begin to brainstorm. So it could be a main idea, and 4 of them are doing it in a different ways because they came from a different industry, right? For example, if they are doing customer service, they could be from retail, and another person could be from the bank. Okay. So is there any example? There's Stanley Chong asks, is there any example provided on the roles and responsibility of a typical data officer? The chief data officer during my career has changed at least 20, 30 times. It started from a very simple thing called a database administrator, right? I mean, that's how it has evolved too. So what we are telling you is that because we are giving you the broad coverage of data to data science to analytics to AI and to the application of AI, for example, autonomous robotics, you could begin to take the key points and develop it within your company. Take, for example, a CDO in a bank will be different from a CDO for Tesla factory. okay? Even though primarily they are using data, but the data handling is different. The use case and the monetization is different. And the application is also different. So the Tesla factory will be putting it into robots, and the banks will be putting it into the apps in your phone for smart or open banking, right? So we will help you to understand all these terms for you to define this role.
Right.
So can you share what kind of Maximilian Horn asked, can you share what types of industries are covered in the use case? It's very wide. Our lecturer, the 23 modules are really covered by a very diverse group of lecturers. So I don't have all the use cases, but from what I have read so far, the use case cover from banks to manufacturing to retail. So there is a lot of experience that is shared about. Remember, this course is not about giving you knowledge about AI. You can Google search, or if you want to, you can use Copilot, or you can use Gemini to do that. No, the important thing is that the practitioner and the lecturers are putting their knowledge and experience, fuse it with the knowledge that you are looking for, and hopefully through these methods of education, you will be able to adapt it to the environment, right? So the important thing is not the example. The important thing is the learning journey for you to translate the learning of this industry into your environment. Okay, so whether it's AI, okay, the same question was asked from Maximilian on about MS Copilot, Vertex, Big Rock. We will cover the fundamental of generative AI, and each of them, as you know, fundamentally are generative AI, even though they came from different background and history. The lecturer who are teaching you this will be able to give you an in-depth if you want to, if you ask the question. But we will not be product specific. Okay, we will tell you remember we are equipping you. So we will tell you the developments within the generative AI, the foundation models and things like that. And from there, you can do your research and backflow that question to your success coach, who will be Dr. Charles, and the success coach will contact the lecturer to give you a more in-depth answer. So many questions. I'm jumping the question to where I can see the difference, right? I will answer the question from Mick Pan. Under the AI topic, are you going to cover LLM? If you cover generative AI, you will have to talk about LLM. But I just want to remind all of you, especially those who are technical, the large language model does not come from generative AI. Generative AI comes from large language model, right? So large language model has been there for some time. And we will cover it as you go through the journey of data into the tools of using data. Some questions. Suresh, you got to help me identifying any of the...
Yes. So there is just one question that we have from Johnny, which is, in managing teams in the future, would you be able to provide skill sets that might be needed to help in organizing and implementing data science projects?
A saying says, right, teach a man to fish and he will be able to feed himself for 1,000 days. We are teaching you to fish. So this is not a course called how to be a CDO. This is a course to tell you about the main components that you need to know. It's an education in order for you to be prepared for the changing technology that is now facing you. So the 5 pillars will give you enough knowledge actually to define data science. For example, one of the topics that we teach you is about aligning yourself to your organization. So if your organization is technology fearful and you want to do AI, you do not be brave to say, I will do a total generative AI for the whole company. Right? You will want to just pick on something that people will understand, for example, customer service, and you try to change that in order for others to learn, to know. So the skill set that you are talking about actually has to be tailored to each company, to each stage of development of each company, and to the risk appetite of each company, which is a subject I'm teaching, right? So you cannot fit something that is technology advanced for a company that is not willing to implement that, as an example. So these are the skill set that you will learn, you will adapt. And I think at the end of the course, you will be able to tick boxes to define what are the probability of courses project that you can do in a company. And I will assure you from my experiences that it's not as big as what you read in all the good use case, right? Because what you heard and read is about success, but what you did not read about are the 90% that fail. Okay, so most probably, do bite size, do enough for you to prove your worth, to get confidence, and from there you scale up. There will be no perfect company that will take a $100 million project, let you implement it, and hope for the best. No such thing, right? So it's about risk management. I'm giving you all the pillars. So the risk management is not about hackers, right? It's also about how do you manage risk. For example, to use 100 million to transform a company, you can't get it. Even if I'm a CTO, right? You have to break it into small pieces. And with the success of the small, you get it bigger. And with the success of the bigger, you get it even bigger, and so on and so forth.
Thank you. So I believe I'll take this question from Rommel, which is, during the course, possible to share our own data set to work on as an example? You're interested in predictive analytics. So again, you will be having discussion boards throughout the program, and you'll have channels where you get to communicate and network with your peers and collaborate with them, discuss on ideas, brainstorm, and share your perspectives. So again, you will be able to share your data set, not officially as part of the course, but you can collaborate with your peers, share your data set with them, and probably work on it together. That's a personal choice again.
Let me answer Ambu's question. So for me as a senior person who hired thousands of people in the past, you see, when you come into a company, let's say I am a large company, right? Whether you're in Dubai or whether you're in China. It used to be that my resume or your resume will come and says that you need, this knowledge, this programming, this. Now, no. Now we are looking at you because we are going transformation. We are looking at you as skill sets of how do you bring stakeholders together. These are very common problems that your manager has shared with you in the past. You cannot communicate. You are too technical if you are technical, right? Now, if those who are not technical, they say you do not know enough about technology, to do this. How do you put technology into customer service? So either way, you lose. So the showcase of value is one that you are able to bring in the conversation from a system point of view. So when you come in and say that, well, I know enough about programming, but that is not my strength. And I am able to bring people together. For example, the last case I've done in the company to develop an intelligent customer service that replaces the traditional call center. Because I bring the stakeholders together, I justify why we should use data. I protect the privacy of our customer. And more importantly, this is how we have derived our value in terms of greater customer satisfaction as the traditional way. in terms of more sales to the call center because they are able to get more information and we are able to close the sales. You're welcome.
Any other questions, everyone? We've actually had a very long Q&A session this time, as we've had a lot of questions this time. That's really good to know that we have a lot of interaction here. Any more questions? Any sort of last questions from anyone? Mitch, any other questions that you had?
We are not, Chandra, we are not here. How does NUS and this course help in job transition? I'm also a member of the NTUC, committee for PMET. Okay, so this course and NUS is not in the game of doing job transition, job upgrading. We are here to equip you to be ready, just like we are here to give you a degree in computer science for you to be in the IT industry, correct? So let me answer your question. If you are transiting in your job, there are three very key points that the industry is now facing. One is called job redefinition. That means you change your role. The second is job upskilling. That means you stay in the same roles, you have more skills, or reskilling, meaning that you change your skill from one skill to another. Easy said than done. What are you going to upgrade, or what are you going to upskill, or what are you going to change in terms of your skill? So without knowing the context of the systems, that is strategy. Without knowing the context of new technology that's evolving, without understanding the new tools that's coming in, you will not be able to transit because every decision that you make may be a wrong one, right? So this course is like a bachelor degree, helping you to understand the nuance of that job, for you to go into the industry you want, and for you to retrain or reskill or recertify in that particular industry. Thank you, Maxi, Mila. Like I says, half our course lecturers are very experienced practitioner. One of them is the first CIO of Singapore, right? So yeah, so you get the best of both worlds. You get the war story, and you get the academic rigor. Thank you, and I hope you all will enjoy the course as we took pain to do it.
That's a very detailed explanation for how enriching your session was, Professor Teo. Maximilian really wishes to share how interested he was in the session, and the insights that you've shared, it has helped him understand very well. Thank you, Professor Teo, for that.
Most welcome.
Any other questions, anyone? You're welcome, Kashi. Yes, so Nedved, the program is strictly remote because we have participants from across the globe. Although there will be the two-day networking event at the campus where participants can fly on to Singapore. And what we have seen earlier in our other C-suite level programs as well is Singapore participants usually do meet offline. So if you're based out of Singapore, you can definitely connect with your fellow peers and have any offline informal meetups, if any. But then NUS is conducting a 2-day event at the end of the program, so that's fair for participants from across the globe.
The previous batch for similar course, some of them even come together to set up a startup.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's very interesting because they have various skills, various background, and because of the strategic planning intent, they come together when they discuss, they connect the dots. So when 5 people come together and have a common mind, it means that there is a common thread, right? So this is called strategy and strategic planning, but it's not used in a company, but it's used among themselves to create a startup. Interesting.
Wonderful.
So anyway, yeah, this education is not about you filling up the blanks. Education is about you teaching you how to fish, right? So our intent is that the next generative AI that will come out, you will understand how to move, rather than to say that I got to learn generative AI version 2. Don't do that.
Great. I believe we don't have any more questions, so we'll wrap the session. Thank you so much, Professor Teo, for answering the questions patiently and helping us with the Q&A. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I know it's a weekday and you must all be tired after your work, so thank you for joining in with us, and look forward to you all being a part of this program.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.